So you keep doing these trips to Ukraine. How is that?
Well, I've just got in with the people that do them, and I actually genuinely feel for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow, everyone loves the underdog.
Yeah.
You know, not that they're looking like they're the underdog at the moment. That's only on the telly, and we don't know what's happening in real life. But they look like the underdog to me. And if I can do anything,
yeah,
to help the underdog in any walk of life, in any way, shape, or form, I will do that.
Yes.
You know, I'd be lying if I told you I went to where all the missiles are flying over and all that.
Right.
But I would be interested in the opportunity of. I'm not saying I want to go there and fight anybody. Yeah, I'm aware I'm 60 odd.
Yeah.
But I would have got in a little bit deeper.
Yes.
Gone in a little bit deeper. But I brought over a load of medical supplies and food. I've been over there a couple of times.
Fantastic. And what's the trip like?
All come across all coming out of the country. Yeah. And they all had the same look on their little face, you know, the women, 2 kids, you know, a cat, 3 black bags, just all walking out of the country with the little look of like, wow, you know, like genuinely loads of them. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's horror stories there from when you get there and the holding centres where you bring all the supplies to, and they're going in and out of the country, and there's horror stories of what.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. How long does it take you to get there? Is it like a long trip? You have to drive. You go with Brendan, don't you?
I put it in the sat nav for there and back, and it was 2,800 miles. But now that's been on your sat nav 2,800 miles, like 2 days there and 2 days back.
Yeah.
Now it's sat nav. Every time I put anything in the sat nav and it's like 250 miles, you think, oh,
yeah.
It's not going to Tesco's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a long, boring way. Like Poland is just flat.
Yes.
A day, just hours and hours and hours, and all you do is loads of different service stations, you know.
Right. So what we're going to do, we're going to have some subscriber questions. Now, I have no control over these.
Right away.
Now, BP, he says, have you ever met Vinnie Jones? And if so, what was said?
I have never met Vinnie Jones.
Right.
I'm not a Vinnie Jones hater. He played me in Lock Stock. Most of them things that he done in the thing, the geese on the sunbed and all that. Bloke they're all true parts of my life. They're bits that have been on telly and documentaries. They're in my book years before the documentary, before the film came out. And then someone was playing me. I do think he should have got in touch with me.
Yes.
But just they have said to him, obviously, the same as everyone else in the world, what I've been talking about. You can't glamorise crime, you know, you're judged by the company you keep. We don't want you hanging around with Dave Courtney. He's been done for this and done for that, involved in drugs and murder and gangster crime and whatever. You know? So he never got in touch with me, not one phone call, not, how are you, in the middle of the night, anything, just anything at all. And I thought that was not manly. Right? I just didn't think that was manly. Yeah, I'm not on I don't like your tip. You understand what I mean? And Vinnie Jones, I will show you a million videos of Vinnie Jones before he made a film.
Yes.
Right? And it weren't Vinnie Jones who got famous. It was Big Chris that got famous. And if Big Chris was supposed to be me, the character he plays, the big bad boy gangster thing, he's not actually a gangster or doesn't understand prison culture, drug culture, gang culture, nothing like that. He's quite a posh boy. He's grouse shooting and all that. He might have grabbed gazzers, kicked a few people in the shin and gone to the ref. But as for a bad boy, I don't know.
No.
You know what I mean? And Big Chris got famous on Lock Stock. And when they went out, the film's finished, he carried on playing Big Chris in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, changes, you know, like...
I'm not a huge fan.
I'm not scary enough to you. My eyebrows, when I do that, don't make me any scarier, right? So, you know, he does the eyebrow thing.
Yes.
I don't have to get that to look like, you know, I could hurt you.
Yes.
You have to look like, well, I'm not trying to eyebrows.
No.
Don't to make it sound like I'm bitter with him, and I'm not. I just don't think it was respectful to not talk to me. So in answer to your friend, I've never spoke to him.
If he called you up now and said, "I'd like to come around and have a drink with you, Dave," would you like that?
Of course I would, yeah. If he called me up now, I'd go anywhere. I'd go and say hello to him and say sorry for the spiteful things that I've said in the past. But before it hurt me. Yeah, now I live with it and everyone else has done it as well. That won't hurt me, you understand what I mean?
Yeah. All right, next question. Paul Evans, can you ask Dave, how did he first get chosen to be in that first debt collecting documentary? How did that happen?
I think I was a little bit infamous at the time of doing that as a living. I had an awful lot of doormen working for me that also in the daytime they're unemployed, in the nighttime they're a doorman. So I had 500-600 muscle men working for me, flat-nosed, bald-headed monsters working for me. So I was like a job centre for big naughty men, and it was quite a widely known thing. And also at the time I was a bit leery, a bit flash, a bit cocky, a bit, yeah, I do it, you know, prostitute myself to get in the paper, you understand, or on telly. And when they offered me to do this, it was a man called Mark Munden, who is a well-respected documentary maker anyway.
Yes.
And on BBC. Well, I grabbed it with both hands. I actually thought I might be going to prison as well. So it was a documentary about a man on his way to prison. You know, I had 9 years going against me. So they filmed me doing as much naughty things as I possibly as they could, debt collecting, car repossession, rent a clump, as many naughty things as I could. Then they had permission to film me in prison, at my home life, what friends stay loyal and all that, and then film me when I come home to see if prison had worked. That was the plan. Yeah, that was the whole plan. For a documentary. But because I had it well stacked against me, you know, on the day of the court case, all the witnesses turned up and said, I didn't say nothing, I didn't do it, I didn't, you know, luckily, they all came to their senses.
Of course.
And I was acquitted. So they had to make a documentary up of all the naughty things that I'd done in the beginning. That wasn't really supposed to be what it was about.
Right.
You understand? I was supposed to have a friend. So they bundled together this documentary, The Bermondsey Boy, and that propelled me into a naughty boy celebrity status. I've never tried to say I'm the biggest, strongest, toughest. I'm a gangster. I've robbed trains on the best price. But I really haven't done that. Right? I'm more for the giggle, having a laugh. I think I'm natural leader material around men to get us all to do something. Like get together and make a film, get together and run a dormer company, get together and put on a rave, all of us together, you know what I mean? I look after all the little wheels, Yeah, the big wheels. Yeah, keep the little wheels polished.
Well, we love you, Dave. We do love you because you do bring everybody together. I've almost known you 20 years now. You know, it's got to be at least 20 years. I remember when I first met you, you were very scary, Dave. You were very scary. You did an interview about Mad Frank Fraser, and I remember you being, quite a scary fella.
I'm not hating him. He didn't like me very much, which he's a little old man. What can I do about that? Yeah, I can't pretend to like him because he's old, or dislike him because he's old. I didn't like him. Yeah, he was a complete fake. And I was a lot more scary than I am now, Liam.
Yeah, oh, you're still scary. You can still be scary when you want to be. Right. Okay, so next question. Rotty, he says, I saw Dave at Ronnie Big's funeral and he was wearing a white 3/4 length coat. It looked like camel or mohair. It looked really good. Where did you get that? And also wants to know about the clothes that you've worn over the years.
I was a very big clothes aware man. Yeah, clothes are very, very important to me. That was a cashmere. It was a full length to the floor white cashmere coat. Most probably the sexiest coat I've owned. Definitely the second most expensive. The most expensive coat I owned was the Versace coat, which I wore on the Ronnie Kray's funeral with a big leather collar. I have a lot of my clothes made. I'm afraid you can cheat now and go to Thailand and have a lot of really classy suits made for after price, you know.
It's funny, you mentioned Ronnie Kray, and we did an interview or a chat about 3 or 4 months ago, and I always love your stories about Ronnie Kray. So forgive me, folks, if this is a repeated story, but I love the 2 stories. One about being in the where the coffin was and all of that. When I said, was anybody doing snorting anything around him? And also, tell us the one where you met Ronnie Kray in prison, what he was like.
Yeah, well, when I met Ronnie Kray, I was doing I was living with an identical twin lady, Jennifer, my wife, and we was doing some. They'd made a record called "They Took the Rap," and it was a set of twins doing a song about a set of twins. I was running most of the clubs in London at the time with the biggest security company in Great Britain, and I was an handy one to know for them, and they were definitely handy for me to have under my belt as I'm associated with them. But it was very handy for them to be in contact with me, so I went to go and see Ron in Broadmoor a few times. I see Reggie an awful lot more. Charlie was a very good friend of mine socially anyway. He lived here for a little while. We've been on holiday together. I was a witness for him in his last court case, But I went to see Ronnie, and the thing that scared me about Ronnie is because he'd been in prison for so long under fluorescent lights, and the lights were on all the time when he went to prison, he never blinked. He spoke to you and that all the time. And he went, I've wrote a list of some things I would like you to get in the tuck shop, David. Here you are. I'll be sitting here with a cup of tea talking to your friend Raymond. If you don't mind getting me those. I was like, fucking hell, just freaked you out, the not blinking thing. Yeah, I mean, he was dressed impeccably. He even looked really brown. I don't know whether he went out and done gardening. So I goes into the tuck shop to get it, and fuck me, he's ordered cups and shirts. About 78 like 100 JPS bags. He ordered a pen, 4 packs of cards, I don't know, all sorts of things. They were both at it whenever you go and visit them. They go, could you get us a pair of trainers? Can you get me a watch? Can you know, they have to live from whatever they can get from outside. So they were
expensive trips. We've only got 2 minutes left on this, Dave. So before it goes off, but we're going to do this as a regular thing. So folks out there, if you've got loads of questions for Dave,
I've been on the other story. I never snorted any Charlie off the coffin. Just get someone to come and stay in there with the dead body of Ronnie Kray was hard enough, let alone trying to have a livener. I do all sorts of other things. I don't do that.
No. So was the coffin open, or was it closed?
You could have wanted to, because there was people coming in there 24 hours a day that you had to lock in there on their own to have their own couple of minutes with him, you know what I mean?
So did you at any point lift up the lid when you were on your own?
Yes, I put something in his pocket. Yes, I would have got buried. He was buried with a 1 penny coin. I put something in his pocket, yeah. But by the time I couldn't fit it in his pocket with the amount of stuff that everyone else had fitted in there that was visiting him,
God, that is amazing. You have had an amazing life. So we've got a minute before this cuts off. Just want to thank Dave for doing this. Do put your questions down below for Dave, and Dave will be answering them every week. What are you going to be doing for the rest of the day, Dave? What's going to happen?
I'm going to visit my mum. I'm just coming over here for dinner on Sunday. I'm getting all the club ready for the bare knuckle fighting on Saturday morning. That's it, really.
Fantastic. And it's your mum's birthday. How old is she? 90?
90.
Well, yeah, Dave, you'll hit 90 quite easily. I don't think there's going to be a problem there. Many years to go. So thanks, folks, for watching. This is going to click off any moment.
Thank you.
We will see you next week. Put your questions down below. And love you, Dave. Lovely to see you.
Julian, love your lady.